I've been going just a little too hard, but I've been doing these doubles trying to pull us out. We've been going through the in and outs.
Last night, a female Dallas police officer returned to what she believed to be her apartment after her shift had ended. She was still in uniform when she encountered Mr. Jean in the apartment. It's not clear what interaction was between them, her and the victim, but at some point, she fired her weapon, striking the victim. She called 911. Officers responded in about 4 minutes. Dallas Fire Rescue also responded and took Mr. Jean to the hospital, where he later died.
All right, real quick, before we get into today's video, I really want to send my condolences out to the family of both them Johns. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that name correctly. I'm pretty sure I am. If I'm not, please forgive me. So my condolences go out to him and his family. I just kind of wanted to get that out the way in the beginning as a show of respect to the family and to the friends of both them Johns. So, you know, my condolences go out to you and your family. So if you haven't heard already, Botham or Shem Jean, I'm just going to call him Shen, was actually gunned down by an off-duty police officer who mistaked him for an intruder. And it wasn't even her apartment. I gotta let that sink in. She shot him because she mistaked him for an intruder, and it wasn't even her apartment. And this is even the first time, like according to court documents, you know, she was linked to another shooting last year. So apparently she shot somebody else last year also, but we ain't even talking about that. So the story goes, she worked a full-time shift. She gets home to her apartment building, which they show. She not only mistakes, this is what gets me. She not only mistakes the apartment. First of all, who does that? I don't care how. I live in New York City. I'm not this happened in Dallas. I'm not sure how things are in Dallas, but I'm pretty sure people have enough common sense to know where their apartment is. I know in New York, right now I live inside of a private house, but I've lived in apartment buildings as well. I've been at my drunkest. I've been faded. I've been, as they say, white boy faded, right? I've been faded. I've been trashed. I've been done basically. I've never been too sloppy. I don't want to make it sound all crazy, but my whole point is I've been faded, and I've never gone to the wrong apartment. Maybe some people have. I'm just speaking from my point of view. I've been super faded, and I have never, ever mistaken my homie's apartment for my apartment and walked into his apartment. So that's not even a kicker. So they have videos that show that if you stick a key into your lock in this very building, if you stick a key into the lock, it's gonna blink either red or green. It's gonna blink red if it's not your apartment and green if it's yours. So you mean to tell me somehow she got into this apartment, maybe the door was open or whatever, but something, I'm not even going to try to speculate. Something about this story seems fishy to me. Here's my take on it. Allegedly, gotta say allegedly, this is what I feel happened. I feel like she knew him. Either they had some type of relationship going on, because you have a lot of people saying this may be another race thing. She's a race soldier. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed, because he's always keeping me on my P's and Q's when it comes to that type of stuff. And this very well may be that, but I feel like there's definitely more to this story, because people said they heard screaming and shouting. I don't think it was mistaken identity. That's obvious. That's out the door. I think what was going on was they either had some type of relationship and she found out something that she didn't like, or maybe he found out something that he didn't like. He brought it to her. She brought it to him. She wasn't feeling it. And she said, you know what? I could get away with this. Because when you work at a specific place, wherever you work, you begin to know what you can and can't get away with. We all do it. So she knew that if if I say this, that, and the third, I could possibly get away with it. And then when you're looking at some of the footage that they're showing where they're pumping his chest as he's coming out, as he's being wheeled out of the his own apartment after being gunned down in his own apartment for mistaken identity. That's like, damn, like, how are we supposed to feel as black people if you're being gunned down in your own apartment for mistaken identity? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, if it's not an act of racism, it's an act of passion. I feel like she was really upset about something. There's also a picture going around of I believe him and her. I'm hearing that picture's fake, so I'm not really gonna post that pic. But this is just one of those things. Like, who does that? Like, who comes home? How tired do you have to be to come home to your building? You got the building, right? So you got the building, right? And you walk into the building. I don't know if they have an elevator in that building or not, but you went to the wrong floor and then the wrong apartment. So I get it. Maybe she went to the wrong floor, but the same line, because, you know, New York City, and I'm pretty sure everywhere else where they have like 4 or 5 floor apartment buildings, you know, if I live in 5A and you live in 4A, same apartment, just different floors. So if she's saying that, maybe, but come on. That whole key thing gets me. When you stick the key in and it blinks red, you should know that's not your apartment. But not only did you still go in if you put the key in and it blinked red, right? Because the door could have just been open, but you went in. He probably said, yo, turn around, look at the other door. It says 5B. This is the 5th floor, not the 4th floor. I don't know what floor they were on, but I'm just, you know. So this is the 5th floor, not the 4th floor. Look at the floor. You mean to tell me after all of that allegedly happened, you still shot him? And then at some point you say, oh no, I just realized this ain't even my apartment. That is, it's fishy to me. And to me, where there's smoke, there's always fire. I think what happened was, just as I said in the beginning, what happened was they were either in some type of relationship, because we know, one, she was in his apartment. I'm also reading that there were really no signs of forced entry. So she was in his apartment. I'm hearing that people heard screams and yells and then gunshots. So what that tells me is she entered his apartment because he was comfortable with her, allegedly. And, you know, words ensued, feelings, tension, things got crazy. Whatever they were arguing about was that crazy enough for her to kill him. So that's just my take on it. Real sad situation. And not to say the other situations that occur in the black community or when anybody really dies aren't sad, but particularly, specifically in the black community. Not to say those other shootings aren't bad, but this one is like, this is one of those things where, like, damn, like, you mistaken identity in your own crib? Like, it's crazy. I don't know, man. You know, the revolution will not be televised, as they say. You know what I'm saying? It happens up here first. So, you know, all in all, it's a very sad situation. Once again, my condolences go out to the family, to the friends. I don't know if he has a daughter or a wife, or I didn't do too much research on his background or anything like that. I wanted to respect the privacy of the family, and, you know, part of me was lazy. But my condolences go out to them, and hopefully Amber Geiger, who's the police officer that shot him, allegedly, hopefully she gets what she deserves. You know, karma ain't good, karma ain't bad, karma just is. Whatever you put out, you get back. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I have to really say about that. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to share it, share it. More videos to come. I think I'm gonna be doing some podcasts. I feel like I need the bounce back of a second individual. So I feel like I'm gonna do, I may call it the Square cast. I don't know, but I feel like I need the bounce back. I don't like calling it a podcast because I don't wanna confine myself to the rules of a podcast, because it's gonna be definitely a lot different from that. It may start off from familiar grounds, but it'll veer off into something great. So yeah, subscribe, notification crew, shout to you. Make sure you hit the notification bell. The only way to really get notified when we drop new videos and new content. Comment, let me know what's up. Let me know what you think about this. Hit me with some new information, and I'm out. Peace. Peace.
I've been going just a little too hard, but I've been doing these doubles trying to pull us out. We've been going through the in and outs.